Hello everyone, welcome to Phaipedia. My name is Deepak and I am a research scholar at Indian Institute of Management. So in today's video, we are going to discuss how to find the research gap for your PhD journey. So if you are new to our YouTube channel, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel Phaipedia. Here you can see the different PhD related videos, conferences and many more. We basically discuss about the upcoming conferences, PhD series, complete PhD guide videos are there. Why not to do PhD? Why do PhD? How to choose research topic and all. The different conferences, faculty development programs, and many more videos related to the uh, research area, ABDC general ranking, and PhD admission application forms. So let's continue this video. So in today's video, we will discuss how to find the research gap. So this is the in-depth guide for PhD scholars series, uh, guide for PhD course on Phaipedia channel. So if you are new to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment down the queries in the comment section. What is the research gap? The first question comes into our mind is what is a research gap? So a research gap is an unexplored and underexplored area in the existing literature. It represents unanswered questions or the limitations in the previous studies. So in basically many research articles, there is a section related to the uh, future research and limitations. So this portion is beneficial for finding out the research gap. So your research should aim to fill this gap. Okay. So watch this video till the end so you can know that how to find out the research gap in very simple and easy manner. Why research gap is important? The importance of research gap for a PhD scholar. So it basically ensures the originality of the research required for PhD and publications, avoid duplications. Like if you don't do the research, the don't find out the research gap and take any topic, and then you will see in future that the work is already exist. Okay, so and also it enhances the contribution to the knowledge. So this is very much important to find out the research gap from the literature because when we do the literature, we find out that what works is already published and what we have to do and what we don't have to do. So to find out the research gap, there are different steps. So first steps we will talk about select a broad research area of your interest. In previous video also we have discussed that for PhD the interest area is very important and also you should have the knowledge basic knowledge about that particular area so that you can find out that this research topic or this area of the of the research is aligning with your interest. So choose the domain like supply chain management, AI and blockchain. And then example we can take taking that blockchain in the supply chain. Okay, so we are talking about the blockchain technology in the supply chain. So the focus on the interest and the scope. So I am considering for example this topic to explain you all. So we have selected the broad research area like blockchain in supply chain. Okay, so the step two is basically literature review strategy. So we will basically find out the research paper related to the blockchain technology and supply chain management on Google Scholar and Scopus. I have already discussed in the previous video that how to download the research papers or research articles free of cost from the Scopus and the Google Scholar. Okay, so analyze 15 to 20 articles at least. Then you can increase the number of that articles to 40 to 50. Okay, and many more. Uh, and at least focus on last 5 years recent papers and high using the high quality journals. How to see the quality of the journals. I have already make a video to check the ABDC ranking on Google Scholar and the extension we can add on the Google Scholar. Also the latest 2025 ABDC ranking, what the major changes are. That video is also available on our YouTube channel. Okay, so step 3 is basically the research tool. What are the research tools? So Google Scholar, Scopus, use keywords effectively and filter by year and citations. Okay, so Scopus, for Scopus you have to pay, but Google Scholar is free. And how to download the research paper from the Google Scholar you can see on in our previous video. Okay, so these are the things, and use the keywords very effectively because keywords are very important. And each research article you have to write 4 to 5 most relevant keywords. Step 4, smart reading techniques. So first read the abstract so that you will know what this paper is all about. You will see in the upcoming videos like how to read the papers and which parts are very important for understanding the overall paper. We do not have to read whole paper firstly. We have to read only abstract, then introduction and then conclusion. Or after that we can read the theoretical implications and practical implications of that paper. Identify the objectives and findings and note the limitations. Note the limitations of the paper. From limitations, also we can find out our research gap or research area. Okay. Now the step 5 is where to find the gap. So in previous published research articles, we can find out the gaps for our research journey in the future research section, limitations and discussions, and these highlights the research gap. So basically here you can find out the research gap. Okay, but reading the whole paper is very important. You cannot read only the introduction. Like here I have discussed that you have to discuss abstract, introduction and conclusion only in the beginning to selecting the papers that this paper is relevant for me or not. But after that you have to read whole paper because in by reading the whole paper you will understand the methodology, theoretical background, okay, and many more. So types of research gap: context gap, method gap, theory gap, data gap. Okay, so by reading the whole article you will know that that paper basically in that paper which gap we have find out, like the context gap, the topic related to that, the method, like if they have used the qualitative method then we can do the research or the testing their framework by quantitative. Okay, so this can be the research. The theory gap, okay, and the data gap, like some studies were done from 2005 to 2015. Now we can see like 2005 to 2026 because in between these 2019 case of COVID-19 happens. So we can see the scenario. So related to these, we can do the research and we can find out the research gap. Like here the 2000 for finance guys 2008 crisis was there, so they read this scenario, but here we can focus on the COVID and do the research related to these years data like data. Okay, and so on. Also practical example when we take, so blockchain and supply chain, so mostly conceptual research question, conceptual research, lack of empirical data. Okay, and gap is no Indian context study, so we can do the study in the particular Indian context. Okay, this is the basic overview I am telling to you. Okay, at this time it is very hard to publish paper because paper requires quality and also very deep understanding and knowledge of that particular area. Okay, so read much, many more research articles you can read. Please read. Okay, so convert gap into the topic. So you find out the gap, then search for the topic related to that gap. Because, for example, we can take the firstly we were talking about the blockchain technology in the supply chain management. Okay, now after this we have find out that impact of blockchain on supply chain management, transparency in India. So the transparency word we can find out from the literature only. Okay, And if I am talking about the region wise, so India. Other studies should be on other countries, all countries. So we are specific to the India, okay? Because we will consider the firms related which are Indian, okay? So advanced tip is compare multiple studies, identify repeated limitations, okay, and find consistent research gap. Okay, multiple study is very good for the better publication. Common mistakes you have to avoid, like too broad topics. Do not select too broad topics. No literature support. So always there should be a literature support, like the motivation for your study comes from where, from where the motivation comes from. Okay, so you can't say that I like this topic and I have selected this topic and so on. There is no literature at all. So you should have at least some literature behind that. Some you have to read some research articles for building the background of and the knowledge of yours from the previous study and all. And do not copy the topic from the others. Okay. So final framework will be area. Then we will see the literature on that particular area, and then we analyze the pattern like the limitations and future scope. Then we find out the gap on the basis of that, and then we will select the topic and we will do the research on this topic. Okay, so call for action now. We are at the end of the video, so like, share and subscribe to Phaipedia YouTube channel. And as I have already discussed that you can watch many more videos on our YouTube channel, so please go through them. If you need any help and support, you can comment down in the comment section and also write us on our email ID phaipedia@gmail.com, which is written here below the subscribe button. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.